What's up, nerds? We are your hosts. I am Jake.
And I'm Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We're also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
We are going to be talking about some upcoming Marvel projects, and some other nerd news.
We will also be talking about The Rings of Power, full season out now on Amazon Prime Video. We'll do it in a condensed fashion because we're going to be talking about kind of the broad spectrum of the whole season. But let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd Podcast. Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd Podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chadley, how was your week, dude?
You know, it was pretty good. It was a lot of solitude at my apartment, but I kind of, in the words of Donna and Aziz Ansari's character from Parks and Rec, I treated myself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Tom is his name in the show. Fuck, I'm so sorry. No, I got a new desk for my office so that I can actually hear my speakers instead of them being muffled from behind my monitors, which was awesome. And then I got a couple of guitars and an electric piano. I spent way too much money, but I've already it's sparked me playing again, so already it's been worth it. So,
No.
what about you? How was your week?
Went to another Halloween party. And it was fun. It was fun. We did the same costume, which was just Day of the Dead type situation. Um,
Situation.
situation. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, got drunk and paid the consequences, and here we are. A big thing that I want to mention is
Stop.
that somebody who rhymes with Brad has a birthday coming up. By the time this episode is out, it will be the
Thad.
day. It will be the day before his birthday. So Chad's birthday is on the 3rd, which is Thursday. Happy birthday, you old piece of shit.
Thanks. You're
No,
older, so
I know.
just remember that, you geriatric
Uh,
fuck.
so keep your liver spotted hands off my mom.
She's a saint.
Uh, if any of you listeners and or fans want to go over to any of our social media pages, go ahead and wish Chad a happy birthday, please, and thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Also, by the time this episode comes out, Halloween will have happened. Halloween is tomorrow. So, happy Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween is tomorrow for us. It was a couple days ago for the rest of you.
Worship the devil, do what you do.
Hail
And
Satan.
Woodland critters. If you get it, you get it.
Do you think you're going to get much for trick-or-treaters at your house?
I hope so. I don't know what else I'm gonna sacrifice to Satan, so. No. First of all, I don't actually worship Satan. It's just very funny.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think one of my neighbors, they have two toddler age kids. I know they'll come over, but our front door is right off a main. You know this,
Yeah.
there's no sidewalk there. I don't think that we'll get many trick-or-treaters, so
That's fair.
I'll buy candy just to be safe. And we did a whole bunch of shit to our yard,
Yeah.
but I don't think we'll get many. So we may just go see a movie after we give candy out to. I really want to go see Pray for the Devil. I know I just said
Who-
I don't actually worship Satan,
No,
but
who's in that? I just saw a trailer for it.
nobody I recognize, honestly, that I can remember. There might be someone of note in there that I just am not remembering. But I actually, how I saw this trailer was,
Oh, this is the one where it's like the nun performs an exorcism and then then
get
in turn gets possessed because of it.
by the
Yeah,
devil. And then it's spelled pray as in like Prey, not like pray as you would pray.
like a
So pray
prayer.
for
Yeah.
the devil. Like, yeah. But no, so I saw this trailer and I woke up in the middle of that. We fell asleep with the TV on a week or two ago. And I woke up at like 1 in the morning and this like horrifying trailer was on the TV and I was like, fuck. And then when I woke up, I couldn't remember if I dreamt it or if that actually happened. So I like looked it up on my phone and I was like, "Yep, that's a real thing. Kind of want to see it now." So so we might go check that out. I don't know.
Right on.
Be a fun one for Halloween. Check out a horror movie.
Sure.
You want to come?
Nope.
I knew that was gonna be your answer. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about. Let's move on.
Yeah, so this week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks. It's a fantastic energy drink. You can drink it with just about anything. 0 calories,
I knew
zero
you did
sugar,
that.
and zero crash. And if that's not really your thing, they have like protein, pre workout,
Cake in a cup,
cake in a cup.
pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes. Yeah, all of it. Super good. Listen up. We'll tell you how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about some nerd news and theories. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Welcome back, everyone. So this week, we kind of wanted to go over some nerd news, kind of talk about a couple of trailers, last minute things before certain Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever, not a certain, that is what it's called, premieres, as well as some theories that we have about everything. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we also want to talk about Quantumania, the trailer for Quantumania, Ant-Man
yeah.
and the Wasp. Quantumania also dropped. I have a big theory about this. Chad and I talked about it off screen, and I think it's a good one. I wanna share it with you guys. We'll get there in a minute. Uh,
Let's start with news.
sidestepping those trailers for a second. We have some very exciting news. Since our very first episode, first 2 episodes, because we split it into 2, we have been talking about how much we love this character and this man. And what is it, Chadley?
Henry Cavill is officially back as the Man of Steel, as
Yes.
Soups, the
What?
Superman,
Yes.
the Man
And
of Tomorrow.
the man of my dreams. Uh,
Some of them wet.
the
Sorry, Mom.
one of the very yeah. I'm not sorry, Mom. You. One of the very scary things about this news. Well, one, the post credits. Spoiler alert. The 1, 2, 3. You had enough time. Spoiler alert. The post credit scene for Black Adam is Henry Cavill as Superman. Again, talking to Black Adam, saying that they need to talk. This is amazing, and it's also amazing because the last time they did a Superman post credit scene was in Shazam, and they did not show the head because it was not Henry Cavill wearing the suit.
Same
Um,
with in Peacemaker.
oh yeah,
Superman
the
was just like a
silhouette.
silhouette. Yeah.
Yeah, stupid. Um, this is awesome. And it's a little scary for me and you and all fans of this. That I was like, well, DC is kind of hit or miss lately, but there's some pretty exciting news attached to this. And I've been talking for a minute. I'll let you reveal that.
Before we get to that exciting news, because I know that you want to share it. Uh,
No, you can do it. It's okay.
well, the other thing with Henry Cavill, for news wise,
Oh,
is
The
that
Witcher.
he's stepping away from The Witcher.
Yeah.
After the season that they're finishing up now, which is season 3, he will be stepping away, probably because of this with DC. And Liam Hemsworth has been cast as the replacement for
Mm,
the Witcher, Geralt of Rivia. I'm sure that he will do great and fine. I don't have anything against Liam Hemsworth other than he's not Chris.
mm,
But I think that if they're going to recast, we just watched a show where they recast a couple of times throughout the show. It can be done
mm,
with House of the Dragon. They could have
yep.
recast and done an age jump and
Mm,
cast Mads Mikkelsen because when The Witcher was originally announced, he was the number one fan choice because he looks very similar with some makeup and stuff like that to match an older Geralt.
mm.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to talk crap about it because I believe in the show. I think it'll do great with Liam as well. It'll be, a couple of episodes to get adjusted to just seeing a different face, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
But back to DC and non Henry Cavill news, they might have found their Kevin Feige
Mm,
esque
mm,
person.
mm,
And
mm.
who is that going to be,
James
Jake?
Gunn. James Gunn, who did the
Bing, bing,
Guardians
bing,
of the
bing.
Galaxy movies. Yeah. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He also did Suicide Squad, the reboot-ish kind of a movie.
The
Uh
Suicide Squad.
yeah. And also Peacemaker, which are all DC projects. And man, I am for this. This is like I was saying, is I was scared that DC's gonna drop the ball because let's be honest, some of, and by some, I'm being generous, DC movies have been
Majority.
horse shit. And I think James Gunn is gonna nail it. And I literally before I found out this news, I was telling Nicole about it. I was like, this is so exciting that Henry Cavill is back as Superman. He's my obviously Christopher Reeve's favorite Superman. Love Tom Welling. I love all the Supermans, but right now, Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman. He's perfect. And I was like, the only thing I'm scared about is that they're gonna ruin Man of Steel 2. Oh yeah, by the way, they're making Man of Steel 2. And I was like, they're gonna do a shit job. Because they've put out so many shit movies, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, they're not gonna do good. They're not gonna do justice by Henry Cavill. And then we found out that James Gunn is now going to be running the show over there at DC, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Because historically speaking, like in the terms of comics, and I know it's not 100% across the board, but DC tends to be a little bit more vulgar, a little
Hmm.
bit darker, but still has that comic feel.
Hmm.
And we witnessed with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker that James Gunn can do that.
Yeah,
So
and be
that gives
funny
me
about
hope.
it.
Yeah.
Like you can make jokes without losing the soul of the movie.
Love and Thunder.
Thor.
Sorry, Taika. I do love most of what Taika does, but
I
Love and Thunder
Thor
was
Thor Ragnarok was my favorite Thor movie made.
Yeah.
Like that was Taika. You did a fantastic job. Something got weird in Love and Thunder,
He
and
went
it's
full
probably you.
Taika, and
Yeah,
because it was in the setting of Thor and the MCU,
yeah.
it didn't work.
Never go full Taika.
What do you mean, Taika people?
What do you mean? No, done with that joke. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's very exciting news. I'm excited for Henry Cavill. I am excited for The Witcher with the new recasting. Good luck to you, Liam. I hope the fans like you as much as Henry, but
Well,
I
they're
think,
going to be mean until we
yeah,
see him on screen, and
yeah,
even then, you're gonna get your
backlash. Yeah,
fanboys that are like, "Eh, me, me,
yeah,
me." As long
yeah,
as it's good, like
yeah,
that's all I care about.
right. Um, yeah. So Black Panther.
Yeah,
So ready to talk about Black
you
Panther?
want to go Black Panther first, or you want to go with your Ant Man theory?
Uh, we could go Ant-Man first. Okay. Well, no, I think we should do Black Panther first because it comes out first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little over a week from when this episode drops, we will be getting Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. It
Woohoo!
looks incredible.
Woohoo!
We get Namor.
Woohoo!
Just, it looks
Yeah.
so good.
It's so good.
And he, they changed a little bit of the backstory, but he's still a mutant.
Hmm.
Still, wings on the ankles, can fly,
Hmm.
super strong, super badass. Kind of seems to be like the villain of the
He's a
movie.
little bit of a dick. Kind
Yeah,
of looks like. Yeah. I was
this
in the
this is
pool.
this is what like Sony. I'm talking directly to you. This is what an anti-hero actually looks like,
Yes. Yeah.
where it's not for the greater good, it's not for personal gain, it's for your cause, and
Hmm.
his cause is his people.
Hmm.
And oh my god, did you see the clip that it was like a small clip that they put out where he's talking? I think it's to Angela Bassett and
Hmm.
Letitia Wright, and they're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Well, I have many names. My people call me. I'm not even gonna try to say it." But it basically comes down to like the Serpent King, and
Hmm.
he's like, "But my enemies call me Namor." And it's just
Hmm.
like that's the first
Yeah.
time we hear it. Also, a lot of people, myself included, in previous episodes, have called him Namor because
Hmm.
that's how I always read it. Also in the comics, that I think that's how it was pronounced. But he's of his people are of Latin descent, so why shouldn't it be Namor? Because that's how you would pronounce it in a Latin language. Fucking awesome! It
Yeah.
looks so good.
I love the in the trailer when they show him like coming down to his throne, he's got the jaws of a megalodon like
For his throne.
around his throne. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked. I know a lot of people, including myself, were worried how they were gonna make this movie without Chadwick Boseman. Uh, and dude, this trailer restored my faith.
Yeah. And
Like,
supposedly this takes place like 6 months to a year
mhm,
after T'Challa's death, or
yeah.
Chadwick
Mhm.
Boseman's character.
And there's supposed to be a really we see a little bit of it in the trailer, but there's a huge like tribute
Funeral
to Chadwick
celebration.
well to uh sorry, I almost said Chadwick Boseman. Well, which technically, I mean, not technically, basically it is a
In
tribute to Chadwick Boseman, but it's
supposedly on one of the murals that we see in the trailer in the Wakandan language, it says something about like always our king, and it says something about Chadwick
oh, that's
specifically, which is
amazing.
really cool.
That is really cool. Rest in
I
peace,
never
man.
learned how to decipher it, but what a fucking icon.
Yeah, Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm
this
pretty sure that
trailer
Angela
definitely
Bassett is
restores
like hella dead in this movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. That's gotta something's gotta tip the scales to make it worth like fighting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something's gotta cause the fight. It's not just like, you know what?
And it can't just
Let's
be because of T'Challa being gone, because I mean this is like months after his passing.
yeah. There was fan theories about I don't know if this is gonna actually play out. There were fan theories about the oceans being disturbed because of the events of the Eternals, and that's what's going to bring Nemours people out of the ocean, and that could
Ooh.
be like a trigger to whatever's going on. We don't really know much about what's going to
It would be a
happen
nice way to tie the Eternals back
to
in
to something.
instead of just like a a random web page on
Yeah,
the She-Hulk show.
She-Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that
Uh,
big head in the ocean?
who knows?
Thanks,
Anyways,
BuzzFeed.
yeah. Uh, um, so I mean, that's a fan theory. I hope that. I mean, that would be
It
cool.
would make
Um,
sense.
yeah. I don't know how it would make sense to like make that a thing for Wakanda. Like, why would that be Wakanda's fault? But all right, whatever. We'll figure it out. Chad and
Huh.
I will be seeing this movie together, and we will fucking talk about it. You can goddamn guarantee that.
Uh-huh. That's my shit.
Um,
What about you kind of had a theory as to also the tipping scales of the
oh, bigger
anti-hero.
jaws,
Yeah, the bigger
bigger
jaws.
jaws.
I wanted
If
you to say
you're
it.
if you're a fan of Family Guy, you know what bigger jaws means. And this is something that these kind of movies, Batman versus Superman, Civil War, any,
Martha!
yeah, basically, I think that they're going to be like, oh my God, we're fighting each other. And then, because Namor in the comics, he's not a bad guy. So he's part of the Avengers. So at
When
some
it suits
point,
him.
yeah,
Like I
at
said,
some,
a true anti-hero. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you off one more
no, you're
time.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. One more time. Ready? At some
Yeah,
point,
okay, so I was going to do it either way, even if you told me not to.
I believe at some point there's going to be like, oh my God, we're fighting each other. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, there's somebody worse. We have to team up and fight that person together. Bigger Jaws. That's what it's going to be. I,
I hope not, because
yeah,
of how just like overplayed that trope is.
yeah,
Like, I would much rather this movie play out and then a reluctant alliance later on.
yeah.
But we shall see.
We shall see.
But the Quantumania, Jake, tell us about it.
It's a movie. Paul Rudd's in it. It looks great. All
Yeah.
right. I'm going to tell you about sponsor number two. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like
No,
you're gonna
I,
blow past.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Man, we are getting spoiled because we get Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, literally in like 2 weeks, and then the following month, February, we get Ant-Man and the Wasp,
You
Quantumania,
just skipped like 2 months there. That's super cool because this is November.
January, February,
This is November.
November,
Then there's
January,
December,
February.
January.
Well,
But
no,
we
I'm
also
saying
get the holiday special from Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of this month.
you didn't write that in
I
there,
know I didn't. I'm sorry.
but no, I was saying Black Panther comes out in November. Oh, December, January. I did skip. I did
Yeah.
that when we talked about it too. God damn it.
It's fine. Not everyone
There's
knows how many months are in a year.
It's 11. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I
I
know
thought you were
it's
serious for a
13.
second. I was like,
No. I'm joking.
say the right number for our listeners.
10. It's 12. Come on. 12 and a half?
12 and 1/4 day?
Yeah, the half month is leap year, right?
Something like that.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I know it's 10. Moving on. Uh,
Just gonna do my best, Jim Halpert here and Bill.
Dude,
Quantumania theory.
yes, we do. yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. We should talk about that real quick. Um, Kevin Bacon as Kevin Bacon,
I
which
mean, that's
is
just the greatest thing ever.
it's fucking hilarious because was it Endgame? No, it was Infinity War, where Quill asks Peter Parker if Footloose is still the greatest movie ever made, and Peter's like, "It
Never
never
was.
was."
But he also uses Footloose to convince the Guardians in the first movie
Hmm.
to like work together and do
Yeah.
what's right. And it's just hilarious that it's come to actually Kevin Bacon being a part of the MCU.
Well, because in the trailer, Drax and Mantis, who are not the smartest, are like, we got to get Quill a Christmas present, and they break into Kevin Bacon's house because like we got to get him Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's so great.
But yes, Quantumania. Woohoo!
Yeah. What's your theory? Because
All right. Well,
we touched briefly on the trailer last week, so let's just
okay.
get into your theory and
I think Scott Lang is going to die. I think he's going to listen. Kang is the real deal. He's the new Thanos of this phase,
he's the
right?
Thanos of Thanos is really.
Yeah. The next Avengers movie, big Avengers movie is Kang Dynasty. Uh I don't think Scott Lang, Ant-Man, has it in him to take on Kang. I think what's going to happen is he's going to buy his family time to get out of the quantum realm uh while sacrificing himself basically. And I think it's going to be a uh in my opinion, my theory is that a very reminiscent scene of Endgame when Hulk arrives at uh was it Kaj?
Well, the Sanctum Sanctorum in New
Yeah.
York, not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Comitage, but
That's what I meant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Hulk is like, Thanos is coming, and they're like, who's Thanos? I think it's going to be Cassie Lang and Hope Van Dyne going to whoever, maybe Wong. He's been very plugged into a lot of things lately, and being like, yo, Kang is coming. And they're going to be like, who the fuck's Kang? You
yeah.
know. But yeah, that I think Scott's going to die.
If he does, I think that there's still hope that we'll see him again in Secret Wars because that's all
Hope,
about like
hopefully.
multiversal stuff. Because there's also rumors and whispers that we'll get RDJ and ScarJo and Chris Evans back as
Yeah,
well.
be really cool.
Another thing that I can see happening just because they're not super relevant, but they're important to the Ant Man arc, is Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne.
Hmm.
That they could be the ones that sacrifice themselves.
Oh, could be, could be.
Because then
You
that
know,
also puts a bigger spark under Hope and Scott to be like, we have to fucking prepare. We have to
yeah.
be ready.
That's kind of the tone of the trailer is very much the first half of, or the first part of the trailer is that Ant-Man's kind of he's like a celebrity now. He's like, I was an Avenger, I did this, and everyone's like taking pictures with him and blah 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 blah. And I think this movie is gonna bring him back down to earth. Like he's gonna lose that, like,
Yeah. Not a celebrity. It's time to be
yeah,
a hero. It's
yeah, yep.
as Iron Man said, like Avengers, time to work for a living.
Hmm.
Like,
Suit up.
yeah, he's gotta. Well, that's what Barney Stinson
Yeah.
says. Neil Patrick Harris. Close though. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's Cap says it to Hawkeye in the first Avengers
No,
movie.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
messing with you.
But yeah, I mean, this movie looks amazing. The visual effects look crazy good. It's very I want to say like Doctor Strange. Like
Yeah,
there's like a lot of weird shit in the trailer
a
that's
lot
going
of
on it.
trippiness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited
So,
for it, and I mean, we've only gotten the one trailer. If you don't count the one from Comic-Con that kind of leaked, but you only see like a third of the screen because someone like
Yeah.
had their phone like hanging out of their pocket
Yeah.
on an aisle seat, like whatever. So fucking stoked.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I almost said 2 months in a row we get something, and I am I am struggling here. Anyways, let's go into sponsor number two before I make myself sound even dumber. Just when I think you
They
can't
happen
get
in the
any
same
dumber.
month, November and February. It's just like 6 days apart.
Leap year, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I stupidly said that, but I know that there's 10 months in a year. Let's
I
get
like
into
how you keep saying 10 months.
let's go into sponsor number two,
Also, like that
please.
you're not
Please.
correcting yourself.
Can we please go into sponsor
Yeah,
number two?
that's
I
fine.
know there's 12 months in a year, god damn it. I'm
Thank
just
you.
playing around.
I just want our
Jesus.
listeners to make sure.
Fucking A. Anyways, sponsor number two. It's Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Please listen up and we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, nerds, we are going to talk about Eboot.
Eboot.
We're going to talk about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, streaming on, I almost said Netflix, it's Amazon Prime. Uh, so we're going to kind of go over the whole season. Unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, but unfortunately, there were so many nerdy things happening at the same time that we couldn't cover everything in our
Yeah.
episodes. So we're doing a little catch up here with this one, and we're just going to cover the whole episode, but we're just going to talk about the main talking points. We're not going to break down like every episode and take up too much of your time.
See.
Still funny.
See? Fly.
Man, this show is really well done. I'm really enjoying it. I know we talked about the first two episodes on our
Yeah,
podcast.
the first
So
two.
so we have our theories out there on who's who and stuff like that. And some of that, all of that, has been confirmed-ish. Gandalf has
Confirmed-ish.
not been confirmed.
Yeah. Gandalf,
Oh,
it's a wizard,
mm-hmm.
but we don't know for sure if it's Gandalf. I mean, it's Gandalf, but
Yeah.
they haven't called him Mithrandir, not Gandalf, just
Yeah.
the wise,
Mm-hmm.
or the wise man, or wizard.
Yeah. Yeah. Which translates to wizard
Yeah,
in
like the common tongue.
yeah. So uh,
But so I mean that was cool because I think it's in the finale. There's some dark wizards or dark magic users that have been tracking him since he landed in Middle Earth, thinking that it's Sauron.
oh
And
yeah,
they
that part was cool
call him
because
Sauron.
they literally they're like, we're here to serve you, Lord Sauron. And I was like, oh shit, that's
Same.
Sauron.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, I was so wrong.
Yeah. But
It wasn't.
nah, it was not.
No. We did get probably the most cringy piece of dialogue later in that episode when he decides to like resist those witches. It was like, I am good, and then like uses magic to like get rid of them.
Eat my hammer. Sorry.
But yes,
Oh
nothing
yeah,
against the
yeah,
character, just a really just like cringy cliche line
yeah.
that could have been better.
It was cool leading up to that point though, where he's kind of again, this is the we're just gonna kind of jump all over the place and talk about the important things. But that scene was cool, when he's talking to the Hobbit-ish person, and
Yeah,
he's
the
like,
Harfoot.
dude, get away from me. I'm gonna hurt you. And she's like, no, you're not. And he's like, they told me that I'm bad. And she's like, dude, you and verbatim, I'm talking how they said it in the show. She's like, dude, if you want to be good, just be good. And he's like, I am good. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his best Vin Diesel accent. I am Groot.
I am good.
It was a really cool scene. It was the delivery on that line was a little cheesy. I agree.
Yeah.
But it was a very meaningful and touching scene.
And what was cool was that these witches kind of like used magic to like clear the fog from his brain,
Hmm.
because before he spoke very broken sentences, just a few words here and
Yeah.
there, lots of like pointing,
Yeah.
and then afterwards he was like speaking in full sentences.
Hmm. Yeah.
It was that was really cool. And
Finally. Yeah.
yeah, and so we get to see he's trying to like figure out more about who he is and finding these lost stars that are no longer in the night sky,
Mm.
which is probably because they're the other wizards that the Mayar sent to Middle Earth, basically
Mm.
from the heavens.
Wizards are kind of like angels in Lord of the Rings.
They really are.
Yeah.
They're not actually just magic users. They are
Hmm.
magical beings that are sent from beyond the realm
Hmm.
to Middle Earth to serve. Before we get into that, this show is not truly canon. It's an interpretation. It's taking a lot of anything outside of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. None of that is canon. If you read the Silmarillion, the unfinished tales, the untold tales, extra tales, whatever it might be, none of that is actually canon because Tolkien never meant for any of those things to be published. Those are all published post mortem. So we don't know the true timeline of everything else.
Hmm.
It's just what his estate put together and filled in some blanks and then published to bank on.
Mm.
I'm sure that there's better intentions behind it, but realistically, it came down to they wanted to keep the Tolkien estate going.
Yeah.
So anyone that is not enjoying the show because they're like, ugh, but the wizards didn't show up to Middle Earth until the Third Age, like probably,
Yeah.
but we don't know. The only things that are canon are the books, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Hmm.
Peter Jackson's interpretations of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, those aren't accurate either. So get bent. This is just a
Oh,
great.
what did he say?
They need some milk. This is a really enjoyable show, and
It's so good.
it
Yeah.
expands on so much of the lore that, I mean, Jake and I grew up on.
Hmm.
Like I remember I was in middle school when Peter Jackson's films came out, and I remember going and seeing them and being hooked. Like this,
I
the lore is
I
incredible.
I I remember going to see the second one, the Two Towers. Me and my cousin went, and we were supposed to be at like Christmas, like lunch slash dinner, And so we
Yeah.
were like, oh, we'll go see it early. And the movie like fucked up like in the middle of it. And we were like, no, we're gonna sit here until the fucking they get it. And we like missed like half of Christmas so that we could watch the Two Towers.
I that was the first film of anything that I went to a midnight premiere of was The Two Towers.
No. Did you
My
dress up? You dressed up, didn't you?
no, I did
Oh,
not. I was in
were you
seventh. I
Gimli?
was in seventh grade.
Oh.
No, if anything, I would have been a hobbit. If you've ever looked at my feet without shoes on, uh, thank you very
Oh,
much.
I have.
Yeah, he subscribes to my feet finder. He's the only one, which is weird.
It's supposed to be anonymous.
It's not. No, I through like because back in the day, I mean, for big like movie premieres, you could like win midnight premiere tickets through like radio stations.
Mhm.
So my mom won tickets to like get a private suite at like the Southdale Theater before like everything had reclining seats. So like the suites had
Nice.
the reclining seats and stuff. And I got to bring a couple of friends with, and it was a ton of fun. And first midnight premiere I ever went to was The Two Towers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast. Um, but back to the Rings of Power.
We
Who's your favorite character?
in Rings of Power?
Yeah,
Ooh, Galadriel.
I'm gonna have to
She's a
agree.
she's a badass, dude.
She is.
I actually I wanna because our listeners will probably maybe call me out on it. If not, I think in the beginning of the show, she would not have been my favorite character. Um, the second half of the show, holy fucking shit. She's so badass, dude. And this is
Yeah,
what we've been complaining about not getting like a really good, well-written, badass female lead role. And goddamn, there is one in this show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would argue that I would agree. Well, first I would agree that the first half of the show she was not my favorite character, but I've loved her character from start to finish,
Yeah.
especially now that the first season is done and you can like watch that arc. But yeah, she's easily my favorite character in the show as well. Elron is a close second because he's so loyal.
I'm an idiot. Oh, we didn't do a name thing, and I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Who is I just forget his name, which is dumb because I just watched the last episode today. The uh elf uh he's like the mulatto guy, really good looking.
Andrew,
Andrew, yeah, I really like him too.
I do too.
He's a badass, especially in like episode 6, which is by far my favorite episode. Oh yeah, spoiler alert, guys and girls. Sorry, um, friends.
Peeps.
Dude, when he fucking like takes down that tower and he's just like kind of just like fighting all the orcs on his own for a minute, I was like, yo,
I
this
think
dude is
that's
fucking dope.
episode 4 or 5 when he takes down the tower.
When he takes the tower down,
Yeah, it might be episode 5.
I only watched 3 episodes today, so it had to have been episode 6. It was the beginning of episode 6. Dude, I only watched 3 episodes today.
I think you watched 4.
I did not. I promise you I did not.
Okay. Okay. Well, either because then
The ending of that episode is when the volcano explodes.
you're right. That's how that episode starts. You're right.
Say
I'm
the
sorry.
Thank you.
You were right. I was wrong.
Appreciate it. It was fun, but I don't want to like our disagreement there to take away from how badass this scene was. This dude is like fighting an army of orcs by himself for like a few minutes, with like a bigger plan in mind, he does some cool shit with like a tower and brings like a whole tower down on top of them and stuff like that. But it was like it was cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
He's probably runner up to Galadriel in my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Um, but it's close.
But
He's a really good
you
character.
also have uh, Durin the Second and Dina.
Mm,
You know the dwarves that are
hmm
so awesome. Durin the Second is so fucking hilarious
hmm
throughout. Like even at their parlay, like makes Calibrimborn and oh, I feel so terrible that I don't remember the Elven King's name.
Oh, his dad. Is that who you're talking about?
No, not his dad. When he's having a meal with the elves, and like Calibrimborn's there, Elrond's there, and then the Elven King. I can't remember his name.
Oh, the Elven King. My bad.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the dwarves, and I was like, it's
it's
his
just
dad. His
during the
dad's the
first.
king. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's during the second, uh, no, and like makes them feel bad about having like this super extravagant table, and he's like, "This is an ore that only grows in the minds of dwarves,"
Mm.
and then they're carrying away. He's like, "No, my wife just wanted a new dining room table." And now Ron's
He's
like,
like,
"Well,
and then
make
he's
sure
like,
she
you
knows
can,
it's from me."
yeah. And then doesn't he say like, you can take it with you if you want it?
Well,
And he's like,
the Elven King was like, "Oh, we did not mean to offend. Like, when
yeah,
you leave, we'll make sure to send this with you." Like he just
so
trolled
stupid.
them. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
This show is
yeah.
great. There's a lot of like small comical humorous moments like that,
Mm.
but it just like builds these characters as well-rounded characters. And
Well, it also kind of, I mean, that's how the movies were too. The elves and the dwarves have always been kind of headbutting,
yeah,
and you like Gimli.
Elrond and
Yeah,
Durin were the ones that always like tried to build that.
yeah. But it kind of is like Gimli and Legolas. They're like friendship. They start out kind of butting heads through the whole series, and at the end of it, they're friends.
Yeah.
They braid each other's beards and stuff. Yeah.
Legolas's beautiful beard.
Beard.
No, it's just his hair. Uh, but also, this show is just so beautifully shot. I mean,
Mm,
they did shoot in New Zealand, just like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So stunning, like landscapes throughout,
mm.
and then you add in the layers of special effects, and it's just not to sound like weird or play down. It's fucking beautiful. Like the
Yeah.
show from start to finish is so well done.
Speaking of beautiful, anybody listening that follows Chad on Instagram, you can actually see a naked picture of Chad in a river
In New
in
Zealand.
New Zealand.
You're right, there is.
I am right.
It's just my ass, but it's a good ass. If I do say so myself. I've had it my whole life.
Back to the show. There is some like you said, there's some cool kind of Easter eggs to it. We get introduced in episode 4 or 5. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. To Isildur, who we know in Lord of the Rings as the person who cut the ring from Sauron's hand. And then eventually they remend the sword that was broken, and Aragorn uses that sword in Return of the King.
Sorry, I have Lord of the Rings tattoo about rebuilding that sword.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome because he's not what you would think to start with.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a moody teenager.
Yeah,
to put it nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bit of like an airy person, doesn't really want to like serve, doesn't really want to be a part of the military, or in this case, from Numenor, it's the navy, or just the
Yeah.
fleet. But
I think he wants to be, but they place him in like as like a stable boy basically, and he's like,
that's
I can do
that's after
more
the fact.
after he joins up. Yeah.
Because he was in training to be like a shipmate
And
and
they get fired.
intentionally
Yeah.
fails
Hmm.
because he wants to go and study like history and
Yeah.
uh, is for the Numenorians, they're not too fond of the elves at this point in time. So, but his family has deep ties to the elves, so he wants to like study history and stuff like that. Elf?
I heard deep ties. Tink tink.
Uh,
Uh,
Also, we find out who Sauron actually is,
yes.
and it we part of our theory was right.
Part of
It's
it.
Halbrand, the
Halbrand. Yeah.
the guy from the raft from the first episode
Mm-hmm.
that saves Galadriel from drowning and from the sea
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah.
That's Sauron.
There's like a really cool part where they actually kind of builds up to it, especially in the last episode. She starts catching on and she's like, I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit.
Because
And
he has
finally,
like all the answers as to how like to work Mithril
mhm,
into the elven rings to
yeah,
preserve the elven people, and
yeah,
she's like, how would you know this? Like,
yeah. Well, that and then the power over blood line that he says to
yeah.
what's the older elf's name? Oh shit. I forget his
The
name.
one that's working the forge though, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Celebrimbor.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So he says that line, power over blood, in front of Galadriel, and she knows that line from Sauron. And then she kind of like says to him, "Were you with, what's his name? What did you say his name was?
Halbrand.
Halbrand." I was gonna say Halbrook for some dumb reason, but yeah, she's like, "Were you with Halbrand when you heard that?" And he's like, "Oh, I think they were my words or whatever." But yeah, so she starts putting it together that he is Sauron, and she gets to the bottom of it because that's the way it was.
And that's the way the cookie crumbled. Uh
Mhm,
huh. Uh huh.
mhm.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it was it was cool. That was cool. Whatever. She's a badass.
Yeah, and the you kind of understand why the elves chose three rings, because originally they were just gonna do one crown for the Elven King, because the
One ring to rule them all.
because the Mithril basically preserves the immortality of the elves and
Mhm.
preserves their power. Um, and then it turns out that it's gonna have to be broken down into two. And Halbrand slash Sauron is like, I can wear one and you can wear the other. And she's like, you're fucking evil. And he's like, I'm not evil. I'm misunderstood. And she's like, you slaughtered tons of people. And he's like, yeah, but you told me I could be better. And she's like, yeah, but you still want to like enslave everyone. So no.
Yeah. Yeah, because he fuck, I lost it. Or no, she says I lost it.
Well, and then from there, I mean, he tries to persuade her, shows her a vision of them like ruling side by side, and it's like
Mhm.
Sauron in his armor and her.
In the reflection in the water, yeah, that
Yeah,
part was cool. Yeah.
it was really cool, and he kept like trying to like torment her, almost to like convince her by like showing her memories of her dead brother,
Mhm.
of when they were floating on the raft together. Is like, you know me, you know who I am, you've spent all this time with me. She's like,
Oh,
you're a deceiver.
he was saying, I just remembered,
Hmm.
he was saying, because he's had this kind of dark secret the whole series so far, and in the previous episode to the finale, she tells him, "Whatever you did, you are forgiven. Forgive yourself. I forgive you. I don't need to know what it is. You're forgiven." And then she finds out that he's Sauron, and he's like, "Hey, you forgave me. You told me you forgave me, and I've forgiven myself for everything that I did." And she's like, "No, no, no, fucker. You killed like countless people." And he's like, "But you forgave me for it already. You told me I was forgiven." And he's like, "I can be good if you're with me. You keep me good. And but that's the only way. Like if you're with me, I'll be good." Basically, he's trying to manipulate her, and she's like,
That's not how
"I'll."
it works.
Yeah, she's like, what does she say? She says, "But you would kill like whatever people or whatever." And
You would enslave all these people in the name of peace.
he's like, "I don't see a difference." And she
Yeah,
goes, "Well, then go fuck yourself."
yeah.
Yeah.
And he yeets himself away, and she rushes up to Celebrimborn and Elrond and was like, "It needs to be three. It needs to be three rings, not two. Can't be a crown, because one person creates absolute power. Two, one person can
It's
manipulate and
divided.
control the other or divide.
Two two causes divide,
Yeah,
and
three
then
creates a
three tips a
balance.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
That part was cool. And then also a really cool fun part in the series is when they renamed the Southlands Mordor. That
Hmm.
was badass.
Yeah, because
I
the
I I literally
Southlands,
was like,
it's
"Woo!"
like
and stood up.
farmland,
Yeah.
whatever. And that battle that you were talking about with
Yeah.
Andril, where he like drops the tower, they fight back the orcs. It's because they're trying to find the broken sword of Sauron,
Hmm.
basically used as a key
Hmm.
to break the dam, drop a bunch of water into an active volcano. Not how volcanoes work, but it looked really cool.
It was cool.
It
They
erupts and
basically caused the volcanic eruption.
yeah, and it kills all the farmland, all the living space, and creates Mordor.
Yeah, causing the sun to not be visible, so the orcs can walk through daylight now,
Yeah,
um, because they're vampires. Uh, they're not vampires, but yeah,
close.
yeah.
They feast on man flesh.
Hmm.
Can't go out in the sun because they'll burn.
Mm.
Very anemic
So they're gingers.
and pointy teeth.
Just kidding. Just
You
kidding.
you were almost there until I got to the pointy teeth part.
Just kidding. I love all of you.
Yeah,
You have a red beard. I call you a ginger, but you're not really a ginger.
I'm really not, and it's not that red, but there's some red in it. The last thing that I want to say about this is on top of how amazing the show is, it has a great like diverse cast.
Mm.
There's lots of strong women, strong men, people of color, all of this. If any of that bothers you,
Wait,
fuck you. Jog on.
Jagan.
But more directly, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fantasy realm, it should be for everyone.
Yeah.
And the show is incredible. If you want it to be truly canon and what Tolkien wanted, like, don't watch it because it's based off of works from Tolkien that he never wanted published. So just eat shit. This show is incredible, and I cannot wait for season
Yeah.
two. They're
It's a ton. Yeah,
already
it's a
in
ton of fun.
pre-production,
Yeah.
and so excited for it. We've taken up a fair amount of time, and we skipped a lot. We barely talked
Yeah.
about the Harfoots, which are
Hmm.
the ancestors to hobbits. Didn't talk much about the dwarves, and those are some of
Oh,
the
dude, we gotta
great.
talk about the Belrock though, real
Oh yeah,
quick.
the Balrog being. We do see it kind of like in a dream sequence as like a flashback,
Yeah.
but at the end of the finale,
Mm-hmm.
what happens?
Uh, well, the Dwarf King throws the leaf, which was like a kind of like a peace. Was it like a peace treaty kind of thing?
Kind of, it was just showing that uh, it's a
They're
leaf from like the life
the tree, yeah,
tree
the tree of life or
of
whatever, yeah.
the Elven Kingdom
That is
is
dying.
dying, and that's why they need the mithril from the mines.
Yeah. And he just like chucks it into the hole in the mine. And as it lands on the ground, you see the Belrog like come up. And if you don't recognize that name and you did watch The Lord of the Rings, this is the giant devil-looking creature
Creaker,
that
he creaks.
uh that killed Gandalf the Grey at the end of Fellowship.
Well, he ended Gandalf the Grey for
Yeah.
Gandalf the White to come back. You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah. I did this.
Yeah, and it's still the Mines of Moria, so like, there's not like multiple like Balrogs just like running around.
Yeah.
Like it's that creature.
I assume in season two, maybe three, we'll hopefully see the destruction of that dwarf city,
Yeah, in
which
the
is
Mines
why
of
in
Moria.
Fellowship, yeah, there it's completely abandoned and there's dead bodies all over the place.
I would
Yeah.
assume that we might get like glimpses of it in season two.
Mm,
I'm sure that we probably won't see the destruction of the Dwarven kingdom until like season three,
yeah.
because
So cool though. So cool.
yeah, because
I
we
love it.
don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's been confirmed that that they have plans for 3 seasons at least.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see because they have a lot to cover if they're gonna wrap it all up in season two.
Yeah.
Because we still have to see the dwarven rings get made, the rings of man be
Yeah.
made, as well as the battle
Mm.
that leads
That
to
that's
Sauron
got to
falling.
be that I was to say that's got to be like the very last like episode is Isildur cutting off Sauron's hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's got to be like
because his
the.
dad has to be named king first and
Hmm.
fall during battle. So
Hmm. Yeah. Whew. Plus, we don't know what happened. I mean, we know Isildur is still alive, but in the finale,
in season
no.
or in episode 7,
Yeah.
or basically when the volcano goes off, we see him trapped
Uh,
under a burning
of
building.
Yeah, and it like collapses on him. They assume he's dead. Um, but obviously we know that Isildur is not dead. So,
Yeah.
but we don't know what happens to him. They ended the season. They did not even. I was hoping they were that was going to be like the last thing they showed
They
was like
kept
him alive.
showing like
So,
that village
yeah,
now overrun by orcs.
yeah,
So like I thought that we'd like see him like sneak out or something.
something. They didn't
Nothing.
give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
So,
no idea.
don't know.
So good though.
Yeah. A lot of fun. If you're a nerd and you follow us because you're a nerd, check it out if you're not already checking it out. And
Yeah.
if you have checked it out,
Good for
talk
you.
about it with us.
Yeah.
Talk about it with us. We love talking about this
Yeah,
shit.
share
That's
your
why we do
theories with
this.
us if you think that we're full of shit with some of our thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Or if we're wrong about something,
Yeah.
please do tell.
And if turns out we're wrong, we will correct ourselves and give you credit for correcting us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I like it. All right.
With that being said, I did that on purpose.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna close out this episode.
But before we do, we have some honorable mentions, or you know, Jake does.
Um, We have been watching over here at the Peters location. Uh, we have been watching Guillermo Del Guillermo del Toro's Cabinets of Curiosities. We're only on episode two. Hopefully, we're gonna watch a couple episodes tonight. It is awesome. The all the episodes are different. They're about an hour long. They're a horror fashion um show. It's on Netflix. It's really good. It's pretty creepy in Guillermo del Toro style creepy. It's not like so far it has not been like ghosts or demons, but really creepy like creatures and stuff like that. Um, anyways, that's what we've been watching over here. That's my honorable mention for the week. It's really good. Check it out. How about you?
So I've still just been watching like Andor. I mean, obviously this week I got a new desk, so I had to kind of rearrange my office. So I had a place to put my new piano, hung some guitars, stuff like that. I did just rewatch Infinity War and Endgame over the past couple of days, just because it's been a while since I've watched those.
Yeah. So
And
we're gonna dive
I
into
love them.
those right now. You guys got
Yeah,
another hour or so to. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, yeah. Actually, well, actually, uh, no, but that's about it. As well as just like watching Modern Family. I'm on the last season, so
Nice. Okay.
yeah. Uh, my favorite characters are no longer my favorite characters on that show. Well, Lily is still
Oh,
my favorite character, but
not Phil.
oh, and Phil. But I don't love Claire as much as I used to. She got pretty crazy, controlling uh, mother. Yeah, she's not still listening at this point in time in the episode. Reminds me a little bit of my mom, of a little overbearing at the end.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
Your
love
mom
my
checked
mom.
out after we said the F word like two times, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Well, okay, God wouldn't like that. I'm out of here."
If only you were wrong.
Uh,
Nah, it's just you know now that I'm not a younger age, my mom and I have a much better relationship. But growing up, she was a little Claire, you
no,
know, control of everything. So
Phil Dunphy is hands down my favorite.
oh, he's the
he's
goat.
like the what?
He's the goat, greatest of all time.
Oh, I was gonna say he reminds me of a Randy Marsh. He's the Randy Marsh of Modern Family. He's
Like,
ridiculous.
but better, like a
Yeah.
actually a good parent.
Well, yeah, he's like less foul and he's actually a good person, but
Hmm.
he is an idiot and it's hilarious.
And ridiculous to boot. Like
Yeah,
just whatever.
it's funny. Anyways, good show.
Yeah.
Uh, check out both of those if you haven't watched any of it. And we
And
love you guys.
yeah, and
Or
outside of that, don't forget, even though our interview series for Battle of the Sketches is done, we still have our gallery and web store up specifically for Battle of the Sketches. So you can buy
Mhm.
some one of a kind art from some incredible independent artists, comic book artists, up and coming artists. So much. Get some one of a kind pieces that are just incredible. The proceeds go directly to the artists and to local comic book stores. We don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to support the arts and local businesses. And also, if you like what we're doing, check us out on buymeacoffee.com. It's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd or all things nerd pod. One of them. Just search it or just check the
Well,
link in our bios.
yeah.
Uh, that's a great
Also
way to
remember,
support someone
sorry,
local.
I just want to say, also remember that Battle of the Sketches goes far beyond All Things Nerd podcast.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing this for a long time. So just because we've been a part of it for this month, it's still going on. It's been going on. So check them out.
Yeah.
Uh, all you can find all of these artists there prior to this and long after this month. So
And a lot of them
please,
have commissions open, so
yeah,
you can
yeah,
buy some of these pieces directly from them.
Hmm.
They're usually at a higher price than what we're doing for this
Mm.
collaboration, because the entire point was to support the local businesses. Um, but it's incredible, and there's so much talent out there. And I mean, not that Jake and I can measure up to the skill level of so many of these artists,
Definitely
but
not.
we're gonna try and participate moving forward as well,
Yeah.
um, as best as we can.
We did our best.
Also, we have our web store. If you don't want to pay a monthly subscription, you can always just like buy one off some merch from us. That's a great way to support us as well. Everything you give us goes right back into the show. We don't make anything from any
Zero
purchases.
dinero.
Maybe one day, but until then, it all goes right back into the show to give you better content. We love you all. And Jake, bring it home.
This, this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.